Well, this game was an absolute disappointment. Just nothing went right for the Lions in this game against the Chiefs on Sunday night in Arrowhead. Everything that could have gone wrong in this game went wrong. Just very disappointing game. And let's get one thing clear. The refs are not the reason why the Lions lost this game. Even though the reffing was completely biased for the Chiefs, it's not the reason why. I mean, you can say whatever you want about the ref bowl in this game. At the end of the day, the Lions are playing the Kansas City Chiefs, not the refs. But I mean, is anyone really surprised with some of the bias with the refs against the Chiefs? Especially considering the NFL ref bowl has never been consistent at all for how many goddamn years? But even despite all that reffing inconsistency, you all can bitch and complain about it all you want. At the end of the day, we'll all still be watching the Lions next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, because we're all addicted to it. Before we go ahead and talk about what went wrong in this game, let's see how the rest of Detroit sports fared this week. Detroit basketball! So, Pistons preseason officially started this week with the Pistons having 2 preseason games. As they started off pretty solidly with a pretty solid win against the Memphis Grizzlies. And then had a pretty solid gay outing against Milwaukee. I mean, it's preseason. Honestly, wins and losses don't really matter in preseason. Like, if anybody actually takes wins and losses seriously in preseason, need to check yourself. Like, it's just player evaluation and testing the tuning to try some stuff out for the regular season. And just for players to knock the rust off after spending the last couple months for the offseason from the season ending. But, you know, expectations for the Pistons are going to be pretty high. As we all know, this year for the Pistons is a very crucial year for the Pistons to try and prove that last year's wasn't a damn fluke. But so far, very solid outing. They only got 2 preseason games left, and then their regular season begins in less than around a week and a half. As their first 2 games of the season are on the road, as their season opener will be in Chicago against the Bulls. And for anyone wondering, the Pistons' home opener isn't until October 26th against Boston. So yeah, Pistons home opener comes a little bit late. They start on the road to open the year. But yeah, this is a big season for the Pistons in terms of the window to compete. But yeah, so far looking solid, but still 2 preseason games left to see to get this team all tuned up for the regular season. Now, one team that doesn't have to worry about preseason is the Red Wings, as they finally got their regular season started. Beginning with the home opener against Montreal, the Wings got off to a very good start by scoring the first goal of the season 3 minutes in from Alex DeBrincat. Man, what a start for the Wings. On the home opener, a goal 3 minutes into the game. What a great start. Now, all the Wings got to do against Montreal is keep their foot on the gas, and they get completely blown out after that. As after that goal, the Wings, Montreal would then score 5 unanswered goals within the next 2 periods, and Montreal would win the game 5-1. And this was John Gibson's first game in a Red Wings uniform since being acquired by Anaheim. Since being acquired in a trade from the Ducks back during the draft. And he laid a goose egg and got pulled. And it was so bad to where the Wings got booed off the ice after the second period. And to be perfectly honest, the booing was very deserved because, yeah, this is what happens when you don't actually make splashes in free agency. And you keep going on hopes and prayers with prospects waiting for them to come up after a couple years in development. Just, yeah, very disappointing home opener, especially to kick off the Centennial season. So yeah, also it turns out that putting Hockeytown back on home ice doesn't actually make the team better? Wow, tickle me shocked. Who could have saw that one coming? And yeah, even despite the Tigers' issues right now, especially with the complacency and how they went out with a whimper against Seattle, let's not kid ourselves. Even though the Wings did bounce back and got a big win against Toronto, even coming back from a 2-0 deficit early to outscore the Leafs 6-1 to win 6-3. A very dominant win against the Leafs. And that's a pretty big one, too, since the Leafs are still one of the top teams in the division. And the original 6 rival, too. So, yeah. See, even though the Wings struggled, you know, they'll get a win against Toronto and bring you right back in. But, yeah, you know, I think that Montreal game just shows that this is going to be a long-ass season. And, of course, next year, the regular season gets longer, with it potentially going 84 games in a shorter preseason. And the season will be starting earlier than normal. Because normally, NHL season, we're like, what, first week of October? Or something like that? Next year, it'll be starting around mid to late September, a couple weeks earlier than where we are right now. To end the regular season a little earlier, and to hand out the cup a little earlier. But, yeah. Like I said before, I have no expectations for the Wings. But even though there's no expectations for the Wings, they'll still probably find a way to disappoint me, because that's normally how this goes. But yeah, Steve Eichmann better get shit figured out quickly and fast, or he might be getting fired at the end of the year if the Wings don't get it going quickly. But maybe that win against Toronto gets things right in the back on the right track. Or maybe they just fall right back apart again. Time will tell in this season. It's going to be a long NHL season, that's for sure. And now to the Lions game against the Chiefs, and Jesus Christ. To say this game was a disaster was an understatement. Just very disappointing game. Like, nothing went right for the Lions offensively or defensively. And in terms of the refs, well, I'll be honest, the reffing is garbage. Let's not get that twisted. The reffing was bad. Was it bad? Yes. Is it the reason the Lions lost? No. Say whatever you want. At the end of the day, Lions are playing the Chiefs, not the refs. It is not the refs' fault the Lions gave up 30 points. That's the Lions' own damn fault. It is not the refs' fault the offense couldn't get anything going. That is the Lions' fault. It is not the refs' fault the Lions couldn't generate one turnover. That is the Lions' own fault. It's not the refs' fault the Lions didn't generate enough pressure to contain Mahomes. That is the Lions' own fault. Like, I'll say this, anybody that blames the refs for a loss is what we call a loser. If you actually look in the mirror and actually point out the issues and hold the team rightfully accountable, then you're a winner. Well, I'll say this. I will not blame the refs because it's petty and childish and it's taking the easy way out instead of holding the people that actually need to be held accountable in this game. I know a lot of people also put up the injury excuse for the defense, but how banged up the secondary. It's like, god damn it. Didn't the Lions literally go 15-2 with a defense that was so banged up and held together by glue and duct tape last year? And I don't think we have the right to pull that injury card excuse when we go 15-2 last year with an defense that was literally banged up to hell and back to where we were pulling guys off the damn street. Especially when mainly even when the secondary's healthy, it isn't one of the top safe secondaries in the whole entire league. The only two players in the secondary worth a damn are Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. And those two played in this game. Although they were banged up and not 100%, but they still played, so there's no excuses there. In the end, nothing went right for the Lions. Just defensively, not being able to generate a turnover, not being able to put enough pressure on Mahomes to contain him, and Mahomes to just carve the defense up and make Mahomes look like his old MVP self again. I mean, offensively, everything looked like it was going well. And especially in that first drive when they knocked 10 minutes right off the clock. But I think the first big turning point for the Lions offense, not doing enough tonight, was that touchdown in the opening drive on the trickery from Montgomery to Jared Goff that got called back because of illegal motion. And then add in another 5 yards for the Lions for Goff getting delay a game for arguing with the ref over it and trying to get clarification. And let's be clear, that was kind of a penalty because Goff actually never did really stop. Because it's not like last week where Goff was already lined up and Montgomery was in the backfield. So it was a weird-ass play. Kind of weird call, but hey, say whatever you want about that. At the end of the day, the Lions had how many minutes after that call to not put themselves in a position where a call like that could dictate the game? They had 50? At the end of the day, the Lions had 60 minutes to not put themselves in a position where a call like that could dictate the momentum of this game. Lions didn't take advantage of it. You know what else doesn't help the Lions in this game? Getting completely outplayed on 4th down. The Chiefs just executed better than the Lions on everything. Especially 4th down. Usually Andy Reid's not the type of guy that always goes for it on 4th down. But that just shows how smart Andy Reid is and how much the Chiefs were ready for the Lions this week in Dan Campbell. Because the Chiefs beat the Lions at their own game with the 4th down. The only positive from the Lions offense was the rushing game. I mean, the rushing wasn't too bad. I mean, they were averaging 3.8 yards a carry on every run. It just wasn't up to the normal standard the Lions have been used to the last few years. But overall, the Lions offense just struggled. And the one thing that doesn't help the Lions offense was the failed 4th down conversion right before halftime with Amon-Ra St. Brown dropping that ball on 4th down. Also, why the hell were the Lions throwing a pass play on that 4th down? They should have just ran the ball. Just run the ball in that situation. They had the right idea, just not a good play call. And yeah, that was pretty rare for Amon-Ra to have a drop like that. He almost never drops a ball like that. It's been a while since he had a drop like that. He almost never drops that kind of pass. But yeah, just nothing went right for the Lions. They just couldn't get any momentum going in this game. Especially in the second half. Just nothing went right for this team. Just absolute struggle overall. And the one thing that won't get the Lions on their good graces with the league, Brian Branch starting shit by starting a brawl after the game with Juju Smith-Schuster. Come on, Brian. What the hell were you thinking with that? It's why the hell are you showing that kind of fight after the game instead of during the whole 60 minutes you've just played? That's pretty fucking stupid what Branch did. And whether Branch gets fined or suspended or not, that will be up to the wheel of discipline to decide later this week when Branch has to go spin the NFL wheel of discipline. But in terms of Branches starting a brawl, yeah, that's an easy candidate for low cow of the week. That was pretty fucking stupid what Branch did. There's no way to defend that. That is completely inexcusable. I understand the loss and the frustration, but come on, man. If you don't want to... and really, Branch instigated the whole thing by not shaking Mahomes' hand when Mahomes tried to get a handshake. And Branch pretty much waved him off. Which then let the Juju get in his face, and then Branch just punching him. And then shit hitting the fan right after that. I'll say, Brian, is if you don't want to talk with any of them after the game, just go straight to the locker room. Come on, you gotta be better disciplined than that. I understand you're frustrated and all that, especially when the refs were completely one-sided, and it was completely biased against the Chiefs. I'll be honest, the Chiefs are never beating the fucking reffing, the ref ball allegations, the rigging, and the scripting allegations. As long as as long as Mahomes is still playing and is the golden boy of this league, the Chiefs will never beat those allegations ever, no matter what they do. those allegations will always be there because bad guy always wins in predictable fashion. Like, honestly, the Chiefs, they're honestly no different than the Patriots were with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Like, the new final boss is the same as the old boss. Just difference is, instead of having allegations of cheating, spying, and deflating balls like the Patriots had, Chiefs just get allegations of rigging and lazy script writing. How lazy script writing, you ask? About as lazy as Triple H's recent booking in WWE right now. That kind of lazy booking. Because, yeah, bad guy wins predictable way. The end. Like, we were never really freed from the Patriots' wrath. We just went under new management. This game just shows that. It's, pretty disappointing. Like, honestly, especially considering the fact the Chiefs didn't have a single penalty called on them the whole game. Which, honestly, that just falls on the Lions not being more prepared and disciplined enough. Like the reffing was going to be in full effect. The ref ball is going to be in full effect for the Chiefs, especially with Mahomes being the league's golden boy. Like, you got to be more smarter and more disciplined in that situation and put yourself in a better position so that type of shit doesn't come back to haunt you. Lions didn't take advantage of that for 60 minutes, and yeah, the Lions did not... And say whatever you want, the Lions did not play good enough, and they did not deserve to win this game straight blank. Just nothing went right. Simple as that, just nothing went right. Just wasn't the Lions' night tonight. Just couldn't get the job done in Arrowhead. It was not good enough. Sadly, though, because of some of the ref ball stuff and the Chiefs never being the allegations, this will just give more ammo to everyone that says the NFL is rigged and scripted, and all those conspiracy theorists that say this game was rigged because the NFL was not going to let the Chiefs and the Golden Boy Mahomes fall to 2-4 and get the Chiefs back to 500. And the Chiefs might actually end up running the table in the AFC now just because of how little easier the schedule gets. Outside the game against Buffalo coming up in a couple weeks. But yeah, only thing the Lions can do now at this point, just bounce back next week and get ready to get ready for Monday night against the Bucs, against Tampa Bay. Only thing they can do after losing to the Chiefs, just bounce back, and they will bounce back. But everyone that complains about the refs, I'll say this, the reffing is fucking garbage, though. I'll give you that one. But it was not the reason why the Lions lost this game. And honestly, anybody that's okay with the Lions losing this game tonight, any Lions fan that's okay with this loss tonight, you all need to recheck your fucking fan cards. Because nobody should be okay with this loss after tonight. Not one person. But anyway, on to Tampa Bay next week. I'm out.